Hello, chat. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm going to try to mute myself before I cough. There are probably going to be some that slip through. I'm really sorry if that... I'm really sorry if that's the case. Hi, Alex. Hi, Ash. Hi, Xenotype. How are you? I have been like a little bit busy, but I've mainly been busy this past weekend sleeping. Cause I've just been sicky, and I feel like I really need to stream, but I also don't want to cough in your ear, so I'm trying to be gentle today, and I want to work on this MATLAB code. So yeah, I'm sorry it's been so long since you've all seen me. I hope you're all doing well. Let me drink, that'll help. Hope I get well soon. Thank you for all the good wishes, everyone. I'm fine, really. It's just annoying more than anything else. I don't feel bad. It's just, your throat gets all scratchy, and then you just feel the need to cough, and it just sort of, then you go into the office and you're like working at your cube and you're coughing, and then the person on the other side of the cube is like, huh? And then you're like passing people in the hallways, and you have to like really dial in the hold it in. Being sick is sucky? Yeah. And I mean, I'll be real with you, chat. I probably should not have gone in. Because, you're not supposed to risk getting other people sick, but I got shit to do. I have shit to do this week that I can't do it from home either. And I can't be like, yo guys, do this stuff for me, because then, you feel like you're slacking. Yeah. So it's gonna be an experience. I hope I get better soon. I feel like sickness usually goes away after, a couple of days, and I started feeling this like Friday. So it's already been a bit. But you never know. If it's COVID, that could be like a full week, right? And frick. 1 second. Okie dokie. Honey and tea? I mean, I don't normally drink tea, but I could use a little honey. Anyway, today we're gonna resume working on MATLAB Tetris. Wait a second. This one. This one. Tea helps you when you're sick? I see. I see. Yeah, I don't know. Tea is just... I think it's because I have such a big sweet tooth that tea has never tasted that good to me. Because it's just not, like, sweet enough. But I'm trying to dial back on the sweetness. Oh, you want to hear about the tea? You want the tea spilled, huh? Got anything? Oh my god. So I've been eyeing building a new computer just because it sounds kind of fun. And there are these new RTX 50 series graphics cards. And I heard, I've been hearing people talk about it in the conversations about the like melting connectors. You guys remember the 40 series had melting connectors, right? Where your little power cable from your power supply would overheat and melt and then maybe start fires. It launches a night, maybe, right? But then it turned out that it's not. It was, it was supposedly people not plugging in their cables all the way or not using cables up to rating. Sorry for the sniffles. I watched the video on the 50 series last night, the like Linus Tech Tips video. Actually, let's just look at it now. Let's see. If I can find it. Chat, can you see? You're going AMD for your next GPU? I don't think I could betray, and I like my brands too much for me to go AMD. But you might be right. But I don't know. I think there's just some silly stuff here, right? High skill issue. Wait, what is this about? ROPs? What are ROPs? Oh, render output. I see. Is that? I don't know. I've heard a lot of like funky stuff. But anyway, like I was watching this Linus Tech Tips video, right? And he's talking about the connectors. And they do this scan. They do a CAT scan of the different cards, right?
3090.
Mine has maybe loaded faster.
And basic screen.
So look at this. I think this is the 3090. I don't know how clear it is for you guys, but you see
Sick.
The connector is these like it's literally these bent pins. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top and then 6 on the bottom. And then yeah, I think. And this is for the 3090, right? You see how they're just like they're like individual pins going to the board, right? And then, so this is the 3090, which did not have problems. And they talk about how like the old cards didn't have problems, right? And then they show a scan of the 4090, which is like the first one that was like really having these melting problems. And this scan is garbage, right? But I want to hammer in on the 5090.
5090.
Okay.
You showed me this one before the show.
The 5090 is crazy.
Oh, do you want to do mine? I have it already.
Yeah, go for it. So here,
look at this.
the issue.
They're not separate pins. And I really cannot stress enough how much this bothers me.
Is that
So
the connections
he
are
talks
all
about it.
just tied together into a single bus. So
That's what he's saying, is they're all tied, because if you look at it, I don't know, can I zoom in more? Let's see. Wait, let's actually wait
what
for a better angle.
Lucas was showing me before is that basically all the 12-volt pins just go into a single power
Here we
plant.
go. Okay? Right here. It's not even... They had no need to have 6 pins. There was no reason. There's no reason for it to be 6 pins. They're literally all 6 pins. Like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pins. They're just one big pin. So I don't understand. I don't understand design-wise why they would do this. Because it's just silly. It's just silly, chat. Because now what you have to do is, since you're feeding it power through 6 heat, maybe? No, I super disagree. Because if your pins are dissipating heat, you have a problem. Okay? Let's really quickly run it back through our like physics equations, and power is equal to voltage times current, P equals IV. Your voltage across your pins should be like near zero. Near zero. If you're dissipating power through your wires, you have a problem. So, if you have these six pins that are really just one pin, the problem now is that your wires, right? The wires that are plugging into these connectors, hold on. Wait, not this one. Not that one. Okay. So at your board, your board is like this one big block of metal. Sorry, I don't have my drawing tablet plugged in. Let me plug it in. Maybe I should just get more USB ports so it can always be plugged in. So your card is basically just running off one big 12 volt like conductor. 12 volt positive, and one big ground conductor, right? And everything that your like all of your like processors and your little fancy compute cores and everything that's actual technology is just pulling from here and here. Okay? And your idea is like you're going to feed this 12 volt ground plane, or not 12 volt, this 12 volt power plane with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And your ground plane with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Here's the thing. Oh my god, why did I put GNN? Guys, I'm super sick. I'm sick in the head is what I am. I'm sick in the head. Okay, so if your card runs at fucking 600 watts, right? 600 watts is 12 volts times 50 amps. So you need to pull 50 amps. 50 amps. That means on average, each of these probably needs to do 50 divided by 6, a little more than 8. But we'll round up to 9, right? Round up to 9. Which, by the way, is what these connectors are, like, what these pins are spec to is the other problem. These pins are spec to, I think they're spec to, if I remember right, they're spec to, like, 9.5 or something amps. Here's the freaking problem. If you break one pin... Wait, I'm drawing on the background layer. That's horrible. I guess we have to white out. If you break one pin, now what you need to do is you're still trying to pull 50 amps. Now your 50 amps has to come through 5 pins, and it needs to be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Which is like a big bad thing. Yeah, 50 amps is a lot of current, mister. It's a lot of current. But the biggest thing is you have no way of telling. You actually can't tell, right? Because you don't have any way to individually sense these. You can't individually sense this pin, or this pin, or this pin, or this pin. All you can sense is this, right? Because this is where your electronics start. This is where your electronics start, is here. And all you can sense is stuff going out here. So you actually have no idea what the status between any of these pins are. And I talked about breaking the pin, right? Obviously bad and unideal. But the other thing is, even if you don't, like, completely break a pin, and your pin isn't, like, super fricked up, if somewhere in the cable you just have, like, a little bit more resistance, right? Little bit more resistance. So this one was, like, they're generally 0.1 ohms. 0.1. Which I think is actually, that's also, like, huge for a cable. That's already more than it should be. But we're using it so that we can have a number. And one of them just happens to be, like, a little bit higher resistance. 0.2 ohms. Already, this bottom one can't deliver as much current, right? Already, this one has to be delivering half as much current as the rest. So already, that's shifting more current into the rest of them. And again, you have no idea. You have no idea. There's no way for you to tell. You don't have any sensors. You don't have any way to differentiate these at all. And to me, in my simple mechanical engineer brain, like, if they're all the same, why do we need 6 of them? Why do we need 6 of them? And then we introduce this potential of any sort of imbalancing will immediately start pushing them over the rating, because they're only rated to, like, 9.5, and what they need to be at is, like, 9. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So I don't know. I don't know why they wanted to do this. To me, like, if you had shown me this, I would have just been like, make it a single banana plug. The banana plug that is literally the same one that you use on your, like, normal lab power supplies. That's all you need. You need, like, a strong cable that can handle 50 amps, but you needed to handle 50 amps no matter what. Mr. Taselmo Grattan, no, I don't think this is not planned obsolescence. This is like planned obsolescence is not like day one we're going to have our phones self-destruct. I think what people have said though is a temp sensor on, excuse me, a temp sensor like on any of these is probably not that helpful, because like the first point that's like really heating up apparently is the connector, right? The connector's melting. And you can't really put a temp sensor like on the connector because it's just gonna heat up from the graphics card itself. These are 600-watt graphics cards. It's a space heater. It's a space heater. Okay? Engineers changing things to change things? I don't know. I don't know. But probably a connector they just had buy keeps up. I actually don't think I agree with that at all, because this is like, to me, what they've done here is not, it's not bad connector choice here. Because this connector actually, like the actual connector, the plug, is the same one that the 40 series uses. And this 40 series scan, right, as garbage as it is,
let's turn our attention to
this like garbage looking one, is still multiple conductors. It's multiple conductors instead of this singular like
and all
one ground plane. Now, if we wanted a fix, sorry, holding in the cough, battling with the cough. If we wanted a fix, like, to me, what they needed to do is they just needed to freaking, like, it's obviously too late for this, right? But instead of it just being a big plane, what they need to do is they need to have, like, eventually they do go to a plane, right? That's something we should establish, like, eventually they need to meet up. But you should have sensor circuitry beforehand. Right? You need to add your sensors here beforehand. And now that these cards are already built and they can't be added, basically you're fucked. You have to add sensors onto the cables themselves, which you could do technically. You could do that, and it probably wouldn't be that hard to build cables that have sensors. All you do is you make your normal cable, which is like whatever. It's I just bit my tongue too. Frick. It's however many conductors, and all you do is you put little loops around them, right? The same way that some multimeters have it. You have those inductive loops where they can tell how much current is passing through purely because it induces current around the loop, and then it reads it. But you need to do that individually for each cable. Or, I mean, you could build something into your cable, right? You could build something smart into your cable. But I feel like if you're building something smart into your cable, you're just adding to the chance that you have, like, really unbalanced loads. Anyway, sorry. I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this is, like, silly. But I also want to say, like, we can look at this and we can be like, yeah, this was dumb. I also want to say, it is dumb, but this is, like, totally normal engineer, like, you've built something that should work, right? Because the NVIDIA people, when they designed this is actually not flawed. in some sense, right? This is not flawed in the idea that they built the card, right? NVIDIA built a card. They're like, this is the 5090. And as long as you feed it appropriately, you feed it 6 lines of 10 amps, right? Then it works. And you're not in danger, and everything is fine. Technically, like, in that sense, it is like fine, right? The problem is when you engineer, you have to remember that you're working with other people. You have to remember that you're working with other people, and other people are gonna fuck up. These cables are gonna, like, you have to know that these cables are not gonna be perfect. Right? You have to know that the other people are going to fuck up from time to time. So you have to build your system so that when the other people fuck up, it doesn't cause a fire. Okay? You have to like, and I can't, we all should like not point and laugh at, but point and be like, this was stupid. But it's also totally normal for people to like look at their own thing and be like, my own thing works, so it's good. And they just neglect to remember that there are other things at play, right? You have to remember the context, and you have to assume other people are gonna fuck up. And if you don't, and you build a system that only works when everyone else does their job perfectly, people are still gonna blame you. People are still gonna blame you. Anyway, sorry for coughing. Anyway, that's my little rant, because I was just looking at this stuff last night. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, so when we last left off building MATLAB Tetris, hold on, what did we have? What did we have working? What did we leave our bootstrapper at? Okay, we had functions that could drop blocks, and we had functions that could move blocks left and right. What we were struggling to add, hold on, this is maybe, how's the volume for you guys? Background music too loud, or it's fine? Anyway. Yeah. Volume's a bit loud on the background music. I'll turn it down a little bit more. I think that's as low as I can get it by hand. Okay, what I was struggling with finding a way to call a function with a key press so that you could control the game via your keyboard, as opposed to, you know, having to type in like a big ass function. And the problem that I remember was I knew how to call a function with a key press, but I didn't know how to feed info into the function that got called. And I have a fucking big brain plan. So the problem was we would be able to call a function, but we couldn't feed it information. My new plan is we're going to call a function. We're gonna make a brand new function. We're gonna make a function that doesn't need any information fed to it. And all this new function is gonna do is gonna call the functions that need info. So it'll be like if I want to say goodnight to your mom, but for some reason I am mute or my voice is hoarse, so I can't speak. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot you a text, and then you're gonna tell your mom goodnight for me. Easy. Hold on. I have to really quickly check my phone where I saved the picture on the exact syntax for how to how to call these functions. So I had an example. let's do the example real quick. It was h underscore fig figure set h fig. This is the like important part, is this key press function, which I honestly don't completely understand how it works. I just know that this is what the examples online that I saw used, and when I tried copying it, it worked. So, and then x equals 0. Do a quick function. My func source event half understanding and half not understanding the code. Maybe you'll maybe it'll be more sorry, maybe it'll be clearer to understand in a second. Display key, and I'll talk about it, right? Key. X. Yeah. That should be it. If I remember this right. Okay, real quick, what's happening here is this figure command generates a figure. So for example, a figure in MATLAB is really just like a window. Boom. Generated a window. Also, do I need to zoom in more? Let's zoom in more. Okay, so figure generates a figure, and we've labeled it as hfigure. This line set hfig key function press. What it does is, whenever I have this window selected, right, this hfig window, if I have it selected and I press a button, what it'll do is it'll call this function myfunc. Myfunc. Alright, I need to make sure everything's good syntax-wise. And then, all we've done is we've created a function called myfunc that gets called here. And what it should display, if I remember right, is it just displays whatever key got pressed, because event.key stands for the information of the key press. If I remember right. Let's see if it works. Did I break it? Frick. Unrecognized property. Key function. Source. Event. Display event key. And did I type everything in correctly? League of Legends spotted? Frick, I haven't played League in months because every time I play League, I remember it makes me unhappy. Yeah. Okay. Did I copy something wrong? Event key. Unrecognized property key function, key press function for class figure. I wonder if my version of MATLAB doesn't work with this. Because I know, the reason that I know that this worked is that I tested it on my work computer. Also, Chat, do you have this thing where you get sweaty when you're at your computer? Not like super sweaty, but just having my headphones on and my computer running makes me kind of warm. And then maybe it's my ring light too. I don't know. Wait, so press function. I mean, it seems like this is. Why did we have? Oh, this necessary? I don't think it was. Do. Let's quickly check something. Setting the function work. No. I think I've done my syntax for making a function. New function. Let's try it like this. Func2 source event. This might not even work because this is not how I had it set up before. We never know, right? Nope. We'll go ahead and comment this. Does this run like this? Press function for class figure. Interesting. Am I missing something in my toolbox? Do. Actually, property inspector for the figure. Man, I was hoping this would be fast and we could get to the fun stuff like turning blocks. Activity. Common callbacks. Oh? Hi, Atlas. How are you? I've actually not used this cool little UI before. Callback execution control. This all seems... This seems to be like what I'm looking for. Okay, we want... my function? Do I need an at here? My func2. Key press property is not permitted while this mode is active. Hi, Prue. How are you? Yeah, sorry. Frick. Okay, for some reason, key press function is not working out for me. But why? Why is this how things work? Oh, I forgot this keeps going. We have to wait for it to die. Eh. 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 Sorry. Sorry. Ah. I hope this isn't that boring for you guys, although I'm pretty sure it is. Key press callback. Wait, so we do have this function that was using window key press function. Wait, window key press function? Is that what I needed here? Oh, it did. Frick. Okay. I guess some versions can use key press function and others need window key press function. Okay, so this function works. Now, whenever I press a button on my keyboard, it shows up in that bottom window. It shows up like no other programming language that you've seen, because it isn't any other programming language that you've ever seen, Skillishy. This is MATLAB. This is not MATLAB is a programming language. It's just mainly used as a big fat calculator. It's like programming on your TI-84, but on steroids. Okay. So this test function works. We just need to use this one. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do is now we're going to create our function. Key press callback. I guess we already had this sort of drawn up. But the key here is Chat, how long have I been muted? How long have I been mute? Frick! I think I forgot to unmute after a cough. Anyway, MATLAB is one of the programming languages of all time. It's missing a word, though. That word is best. MATLAB is one of the best programming languages of all time. Frick you, Xenotime. Frick you. Let's quickly start by testing this one. Display event data dot key. I think we fricked up here. Okay. Hfig equals figure. Okay, so that means that we've set a figure. Huh. Oh, this should be outside the function. Maybe? This should not be in a function? And up here. Let me scroll up. Hfig H underscore fig. Okay. And fig with capital F. Take 2. Okay, okay. We're calling our function properly. We just need to change the function. Fantastic. And we need to... It's sort of annoying because we don't have something that kills the game yet. Okay, so now we'll... It's still running! Frick, how long did we have this set to run for? I think we had it set to run for like 20 steps. Uncomment. Please work. Error while evaluating. Unrecognized function game state. Okay, so we do need to add... We do need to make the game state global into this function, which is a huge pain in the butt. Take 2. Let me move. Chat. What? Okay, chat, are you guys seeing this? We've gotten somewhere weird. Okay. No problem. Game state is not saving. Okay, so the game state in the function is printing. it's not. Frick. We're calling the function to move it left, but it's not adjusting the game state in the bootstrapper. Smart indent. That didn't. Maybe that is smart. Okay. Game state equals. So here's the question. Is it that this is not saving to our global when we call this function? Or is it that in some way we're calling this function and this other function that's dropping the block is like overwriting? I want to see it again. I did not expect this to be something that could happen. I'm like 80% sure that we're just not affecting the game state at the bootstrap level. But if that's the case, then how do we get it to do that? I'm gonna test something. Is it just that when we don't have something to save on this set command that sets the callback function? I don't see it saving anything into high in my workspace though. Oh, we do have something saved into high in the workspace, but it's empty now. Interesting. Let's see. If we make it not drop, what happens when we run it? Whoop. Stop. 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 Okay, run again. Make a figure? Why are we not making a figure? Okay. Stop again. We'll call this once. In the very beginning. If It works, but yeah, exactly, skill issue. That's all it is you're just smacking your head against the wall with different things, seeing which thing breaks it. If total time, we'll say total time is less than... Nope, that's not what we want. Insert 1 equals 0. If equals 0, if it is set to our initial conditions, what we'll do is we'll run this singular call, and then we'll change it off of our initial conditions. Wait, did I really spell it inster instead of insert? What am I doing? What am I doing, chat? I guess it's true, I'm an engineer, not like a writer. Have a good one, Atlas. Thanks for the alert. Okay, so now it should run... It should drop it once. Okay, so why is it not moving it left now? Collision equals 1. We're calling something that's making it collide. Frick. Drop, left. Are these calls to move left and move right not drawing it? No, but then when it dropped, it should still... Should still trigger. But let's check. Move left. Collision. Do. We also not adjust this collision in this game, in this move? Okay, this function, you. Okay, so we're able to call the function. The function is getting called, and it's printing, but it's not saving its output to the game state. Let's add another thing just to check some stuff. Global trigger. And we'll add this in here. Set it equal to 1. But, we'll just have it increment. We'll set this initialize to 0. So now every time I call it, I should be able to watch it in the workspace and see if it goes up one. And it's only for, we'll make it for both right and left. Do. Okay, so this is really interesting because it also is saving our result. Because our global trigger there was set to 12 at the end after I pressed buttons 12 times. So it's saving them. Interesting. So somehow... Now I'm starting to think it's what's happening in our running loop is reading something it shouldn't. Or is not reading something it should. Play. Clear, CLC. We'll have it display the trigger. So that every time it goes down, it should say the number. Okay, and it's still saying the right numbers, right? It's interesting. Very interesting. So it can read the right thing. Is it just not having enough time to pull off that function before it tries to drop it again? Well, oh god. Total time. If total time has been... We'll multiply the force time by... We'll make the force time 5. So it only increments every 5 seconds. And then we'll see if that gives it a chance to catch up with itself. Oh, that's really weird. I press the button and then it doesn't want to draw. Move left until... Okay. It doesn't want to draw the move left until it's ready to trigger the next drop. Okay, when we move... Good draw. Why is this? Why is this that this only triggers when move down triggers? So many questions. Okay, we'll have it so that when these trigger, they should say something. Display left now. Wait, right now. Right now. And then when we move left, that'll display left now. Come on. Give me something good. That doesn't even show. Okay. That's so weird. Okay, so for some reason, these function calls only trigger during this time, I guess? They trigger only at the beginning of whenever this triggers? New plan. New plan is we're going to call our functions in here. And we're just going to choose to call them if a certain variable has been flipped, we'll call it trigger left. It has to be global, I guess. Trigger right. So we're starting those off at zeros. Global trigger left. Global trigger right. And all this function that happens when we press the button will do is it'll set them to 1. Trigger right equals 1. Trigger left equals 1. Global. Okay, so this is just going to activate these trigger variables. And then the main loop, if the trigger variables are set to 1, it'll just call the functions. If trigger right equals 1, do aim state move right. And we have to reset the trigger to 0 afterwards. And then we can do the same thing to the left. Let's try it now. Oh shit, it's still set to every 5 seconds. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, I know what I did. I know what I did. Hi, cat goes mute. Yeah. Sorry, I have to mute. I have to try and mute better when I'm coughing. Yep. Yep. I am sick. I'm super sicky. Sick like a polar bear on a skateboard doing kickflip 360s. Okay, okay, this is good. This is better. This is way better. Okay. Now we'll set it to normal speed because this freaking 1/5 speed is awful. Okay, so for some reason, it only wants to do the left move and the right move when it's also dropping. And I still don't know why. But we can move the block at will now. Sort of. Right? I can make it go left. And now I'll make it go right. And I'll just let it drop free. Okay. So, why the freak? Why the freak does it only want to move when it's going move down? Question mark. Do I have to hit draw now? Is that what needs to happen? I don't feel like it should have to happen because draw now is already written into those functions. No. What the frick? Why is it like this? Sorry, I need another drink. Frick. It's so frustrating. MATLAB is so frustrating. Why would anyone learn this language? The obvious answer is because it's very good at doing certain other things that are not making Tetris. Okay. I have a theory that we'll check right now. And that's that this while loop is iterating so quickly that it's like freaking out, and we're just gonna slow it down with this command that it doesn't try and run itself like a bajillion million times. Smart indent. Last tick plus 0.001. Wait, 1% of force time? Yeah. Yeah. It equals top. All programming is frustrating until it works, then it's brilliant? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, this is definitely also going to frick up the timing on my dropping, but I just need to check how this works. Show me something. Show me anything. Nope. I should have understood in that moment. That it would show me nothing because I fricked up the timing on the drops. Okay. Um... We'll add a... Frig, we're adding so many variables. New variable that will represent what time we've last put in an input command. Last move use. This is really bad though, because it's going to literally limit how quickly a player can move the block. 0. Okay, actually we're going to scratch that while I quickly test something. Huge. Interesting. It's almost like this thing doesn't even loop anything. Unless we're triggering this. But why? Why is it like this? Move down. The cops. Okay. So things only happen along this timeline when this if statement is getting triggered? How does that make sense? Have a good one, Skill Issue. Thank you for the well wishes. Okay. Why do things only happen in this one if loop? A game? Is it something to do with just the way I've coded move down? No, because move right makes it work. Hmm. Moves. I'm setting up so many freaking test variables that I'm not gonna remember which ones are useful and which ones are not useful at the end. Moves. Oh, something terrible is about to happen if I hit this, I feel like. But let's see. Yep. It's fucking blasting away on that. So it seems like maybe what's happening is this function doesn't get called until we've ran through this while loop. Let's try something dangerous. No. How do I get the functions to call faster? MATLAB calling in while loop. Not helpful. Well, delay the amount of time between the drops. See if that helps at all. No, it still only calls the... Still only calls the move right after a drop. Ugly, ugly. What is happening? Why is everything so frustrating? Never lucky. Nothing ever goes right the first time. Frick. Add another statement just to see how timings work. What the heck is going on? There's something very specific about this if loop that's making weird things happen. We stinky as one? Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Super stinky. I guess we'll try commenting this, since this is what's making things weird. And see if that makes things better. So now that we're not running that if loop, nothing happens. Ever. So why was that if loop responsible for making things happen? Something's very special about this if loop, but I don't know what. Because this is the only if loop that causes things to happen. If Huh. So now that we've made that one loop stop, our new function now runs instantly, but we're not updating. Okay, ba 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 ba. What the frick is happening? Now it doesn't even trigger until the very end. Okay, so something about this code saves up all these calls and doesn't trigger the function until something in here decides to trigger it. Is it because game state's getting manipulated? Whoa, 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 it shot down twice there. No, it's not because game state is being manipulated, because nothing here follows game state. Although this is kinda funky. What the frick? Oh, this is set to move down. Duh! That's why it's going down twice. Okay. Step start. Another test variable. Frick. This is bad. If step start equals to 0, we'll display that we're starting a loop. starting loop now. And then we'll set it equal to 1. Yep, start. Cool. And then during this if statement that seems to be weirdly triggering everything, we'll say display dropping now, and then we'll set step start equal to 0 again. And that way we can tell exactly when, whoa. That way we can tell exactly when the function runs. Okay, so starting loop now. That's really interesting. Wait, that's really, really interesting. Because we're actually not displaying any of the displays when our function's getting called at all. It's almost like the while loop is eating a bunch of resources. Which I guess is sort of understandable. But I also don't think that's how it should be. I need to study more on the details of how exactly these key press callbacks are working, because it seems just so slow. Frick, it's also already 9. I've spent 2 hours on this, and I haven't made any, like, real progress, I feel like. We have a function that works when we call it. It just calls so slowly. We have a bunch of new testing code that got put in here now, and I don't know... I don't know what of it is... good or useful. Alright. Like, this should run immediately. Every time that this while loop is going. And this function, I feel like, should get called immediately when we push the button, right? That's what I feel like this ePress callback is supposed to do, right? It's supposed to call this function. This function is supposed to run, and then this while loop should be constantly picking it up and triggering. But instead, it only triggers when the block is trying to drop. Maybe our games... I guess right now there's no need for our games to be global. Good, one less global thing. Why can I not move it left at will? What if I make this function... We need all this stuff to be global? Yes, we do, because if we don't make it global, then it doesn't affect stuff in the running loop. So we need these triggers to be global. But we just need this callback to run faster. And I don't know what it is that's holding it up. Can we just add another thing that looks exactly the same? to force it to evaluate? We'll do fake last tick. And that will force an evaluation like this one way quicker, right? If top less than fake last state, oh, we'll have to. Create that here, initialize it. No, still nothing. What the heck? Why can I not call this function faster than it's getting called? Ah! Window key press function. MATLAB. And I would like to use it. Okay, so this is probably where something's I'm not understanding, and that's why we're calling this function so slowly. The figurehead focus button. Maybe we don't need this key press callback. And we just need event.key. That doesn't seem right. But maybe. Okay, so they're using this UI designer. Let it run through. What if we make that function external? We save. Make you commented. Now whenever we call that function, it's no, even called outside the loop. Let's test something else. If we don't let it fall all the way to the ground, whoa, eh. We'll check the right side. Okay, so it frickin' it's something about this while loop that's freaking up. I knew that, like... I knew that while loops are, like, not good to have, but... that's the only way I could think that would get this continuously running. Is there another way to continuously run this? Okay, so it's super fast when we're not in the while loop. The while loop is like very clearly freaking it up. Give it a little bit more time to run actively. Oh, I guess that's just barely the perfect amount to not let it hit the bottom. Um... What the frick is going on? Okay. Chad, I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated. I think I'm gonna call it a night. Think I'm gonna call it a night. Because I have no idea how to make this better. 0%. 0% knowledge of what I'm supposed to do here to fix this. I'm going to try, I'm probably going to work on this a little bit offline just to troubleshoot this one issue. And then once this is fucking fixable, then we'll move on to doing cool stuff, maybe on stream. Sorry. Whole night of streaming of nothingness. Thanks for stopping by, though. I hope you had a good time, frick, even though I've been, like, boring as shit, just sitting here coding and coughing while listening to background music. What a pain. What a pain. Okay, I promise I'm gonna figure out how to fix this, but honestly, this is such a roadblock. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. I'll see you when I next stream. I think I'm gonna try and stream just more like after work like this week and just do whatever. It's Next Fest, I think, on Steam, so they should have a lot of cool demos. Maybe we'll play some demo games. I don't know. But anyway, later. Goodbye. Have a good one. Good night.